Hey guys, welcome back. This is Val, and today's video I'm going to show you a cool thing you can do with your scenes that many kind of oversee. And this is what you see here is a co-op between me and Jason White trying to create a Secret Aztec Temple available at DAZ right now. And the thing is, upon loading, if you take a look at this from the top view, it's a kind of large scene, right? Let's use wireframe or hidden line. You can see it's a pretty cool set, right? And what many people don't know or don't utilize is the ability to kind of dress the scenes and clone things and make it a little bit more your own, so to speak. And I actually did this while designing this very scene. I had these 4 pillars here on this side and even on this side, and I cloned them and put them outside to give the scene a little bit more depth, as you can see here, right? So I used that while designing this scenery, and you can further use it to make the scene larger or more complex. For instance, we could click on these blocks, all right, these here, and you can clone them. Just go to node instance, and in most cases they end up where the original is. Sometimes I would just say you want to copy and paste, use Control C, Control V, obviously Command on the Mac instead of Control. And now that you have a clone done, you can then move it up or down or whatever and further dress your scene, right? So for instance, we could move this a little bit forward, a little bit down. And here's the thing, you don't want to just copy so it looks copied. You want to copy and alter so it looks a little bit different. And I use this very technique while designing these extra pillars you can see here, right? So just clone the ones I had here and just put them over here. And that gives immediately extra depth to your scene. Now looking through the camera with array on now, you can see that the scene has indeed extra elements that give it additional depth. Let me just pause while waiting for the preview. Right, you can see that over here. And it's very cool, very subtle, but yet it just adds immediately another dimension to your render. So one thing you need to be aware of is that the node instance does not copy ultra scatter items, right? So while designing this scene, we use ultra scatter to create the grass, right? So it becomes very lush and dense environment. If you take a look at the closer range, I'm bumping into something, right? There is a lot of grass and all that, right? And if you copy that, that will not transfer using node instance, all right? So if I, for instance, if I clone, take a look here at the big statue over here, it has some additional items being scattered throughout. You can see that the grass here, right? And if I go ahead and clone it, temple alter rocks, and create a node instance out of it, and then move it, you can see that the copy does not have that. So that's one limitation of using node instances. Now let me remove that. Having that said though, this is a really cool thing because you can grab this and you can quickly design. If I just add it on the different side of the prop, and like I said, you don't just put it at the same height. You kind of squeeze it into the scenery, right? There it is, right behind. So you can change its height. You can move it into the set. Let's use just this one. And just slightly alter it. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm not, changing the entire, I'm not copying so it looks copied. I'm using it to reshape and modify what's there. And that's the trick of using this properly, right? All right, so let's take another example here. I'm gonna clone, let's grab these pillars here. Alright, pick color left and create a clone of that. And you can also scale items. You don't need to, have the same size or scale. You can make them really, really huge, and that will also change how they look in your scene, right? It's totally different. You can't even think that they are copied because they are so large, right? It doesn't look like it's copied. You can also rotate things, squeeze things, change its proportions using the X or Y or Z scale. So for instance, you can make them a little bit more narrow. While being larger, they are also narrow. So it's even harder to tell that they are clone, right? So guys, that was a little bit of ideas of how you can make scenes, pretty much any scene that has individual blocks, so you can really play and create your own variations to that suit your needs or mood or whatever you need. So guys, that was pretty much it for today. Like I said, this set is available at DAZ right now. If you want to check it out, click on the link below. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.